Why do 90% of auto mechanics never become truly successful? At first, the answer seems obvious. Some lack experience, some lack knowledge, and some simply don't work hard enough. But one story showed that the real reason might be something completely different. Imagine two auto mechanics. They work in the same repair shop. They show up every day at roughly the same time. And they do almost exactly the same job. They use the same tools, work on the same types of vehicles, fix similar problems, and even have about the same amount of experience. But there's one strange difference. One mechanic is booked solid 4 weeks in advance. Customers constantly call and wait for an appointment, while the other mechanic often has an empty service bay. He looks around and can't understand why. After all, they work under the same conditions. Every day, he watched his coworker, but that mechanic wasn't the smartest, wasn't the fastest, and certainly wasn't known as the best technician in the shop. So the young mechanic assumed the problem was his skills. He started studying harder, taking extra shifts, learning more about engines and diagnostics. After work, he watched training videos, read technical articles, studied complex repair cases, and worked hard to become the best mechanic he could be. Almost a year passed, and during that time, he genuinely improved. He became more knowledgeable, more efficient, and more confident in his abilities. But something strange happened. The line of customers at the other mechanic's bay never disappeared. In fact, it kept getting longer. That's when the young mechanic realized it wasn't just about technical knowledge. So he decided to observe more carefully. Not for a day, not for 2 days, but for several weeks. He wanted to discover the secret behind his coworker's success. And gradually, he started noticing something unusual. Whenever a customer arrived, the other mechanic didn't rush to open the hood, didn't grab diagnostic equipment, didn't immediately start troubleshooting. He simply talked to people. Sometimes those conversations lasted 10 minutes, sometimes 15. From a distance, it barely looked like they were discussing a car at all. One day, the young mechanic overheard a conversation. A customer was worried about an upcoming family road trip. He was afraid his vehicle might break down on the road. The experienced mechanic calmly replied, "Don't worry. We'll inspect everything, fix any weak points, and make sure your vehicle is ready for the trip." The customer immediately relaxed. And at that moment, the young mechanic noticed something important. Customers weren't just bringing in broken cars. They were bringing in fears, worries, and uncertainty. What they really wanted was peace of mind. That's when he learned the first principle of success. Most customers aren't buying a repair. They're buying confidence. They want to know the problem will actually be solved. He also noticed another pattern. Many mechanics love showing off their technical knowledge, but the successful mechanic explained everything so simply that every customer could understand. The next day, the young mechanic decided to try this approach himself. When a customer arrived, he didn't rush to diagnose the vehicle. Instead, he listened carefully, without interrupting, without jumping to conclusions. After listening, he explained the situation in simple language. No complicated technical terms. No attempt to sound smarter than everyone else. And surprisingly, the customer trusted him much faster. After the repair was completed, the customer thanked him and left happy. It seemed like a small moment, but moments like that are how real reputations are built. Weeks passed, then months. The young mechanic began gaining loyal customers. First one, then a few more, then many more. And eventually, something even more powerful happened. Customers started recommending him to their friends, their neighbors, their co-workers. That's how word-of-mouth marketing works. Years went by. Now there was a long line of customers waiting at his service bay too, just like there once had been for the mechanic in the blue jumpsuit. And finally, He understood the true reason for his success. If you want to become a successful auto mechanic, remember these 4 simple rules. First, listen carefully to your customers. Second, explain things in simple language. Third, focus on the customer's outcome, not just the repair itself. And fourth, always keep your promises. Because good mechanics fix cars, but the most successful mechanics solve people's problems. Now I'd like to hear your opinion. What's more important for an auto mechanic's success? Technical skills or customer trust? Write just one word in the comments. Skills or trust?